Hello everyone and welcome to our event. The event is a concept on how to determine whether you're in the right place. It's a sequel to my previous session where I told about my story, about why it's important to reassess where you're at in your professional career and really start remembering who you are and kind of get in tune in what you're all about. Your needs, your desires, your priorities in life, because it's super important for not just professional career, but just for well-being. But before we're going to start, let's welcome everyone. Thank you for participation, and please let us know if we have the sound is okay, the picture is okay. Please let us know. We're good? Okay. If you have for any disruptions, you can communicate with us via comments. So on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, any of the three platforms we're monitoring, and you can communicate with us. Okay, so let's proceed. So first of all, I'd like to repeat my story real fast for those who are participating for the first time. Then I'm going to go into misperceptions or some of the things that people start asking me from the last event. Also, from a gender perspective, I'd like to touch up on why waking up or being aware and awakening is important, not just from a individuality perspective, but from a bigger picture. What are the options? Right? If someone would like to get on this path and try to be more aware in life, live a little better, change something in their life, or profoundly change everything, what are some of the options? And why traditional methods or traditional information, at least for me, I'm talking about, I'm relaying my own experiences, did not really work. Like meditation and other information. So we'll touch up on that. And what am I proposing? So what is the alternative? Again, sharing my experiences. I'm happy to share some interesting, profound, simple ways, some of them very, very simple, to start remembering who you are and really become in tune with yourself and with life itself. And so you can improve well-being. And, of course, professional career and the path and, and monetary benefits and health benefits and everything. Okay, so let's start with the first part, brief story. My name is Gennady Brin. I live in Silicon Valley. I just turned 52. I am immigrant from former Soviet Union, ended up in U.S. back in 1990, so 34 years ago. So that's my story. And I also spent 25 years in the Silicon Valley career, very successful from my standpoint, worked with very innovative companies, technologies, smart people. But recently, about a year ago, maybe actually longer, I was coming to this point where I lost interest in what I was doing. And I was fighting it. I was trying to still provide for my family, support a certain lifestyle. I got into a bunch of depressive states, all kinds of struggles. I went through divorce. For example, my relationships also suffered all around me. So, I don't know, maybe it's a classic story, maybe it's not, but this is my story. So at some point, I lost a job. Now we live in the tech sector is a kind of trend of big companies laying off. It's a roller coaster. So I was part of that wave. Was able to land a job. Was happy for a little bit and then lost that as well. And for 6 months I couldn't find a job, although I have vast network, great experiences, talents in this field, but it was a sign right? The way I looked at it is a sign of life. That, hey, Gennady, you're not on the right path. So, after the struggles, I start reassessing where I'm at in life, what am I doing, what is my purpose, and I was able to find answers to all these questions and more. Not only that, I was able to have a consortium of people behind me who saw the development of this persona and waking up. So I'm awaking. So I woke up. I start looking at life differently. Start noticing details of life. Start practicing certain epiphanies that come along, and I changed profoundly everything. Everything. My relationships, my well-being, my energetic levels. I was able to determine what I want to do now and what is my purpose in life. Think about that. Now, that's my story. So next part is misperceptions from a previous event. So, okay, Gennady, this is all great, but what do I do? Are you telling me that I need to drop, like you, everything and just go and, switch 100%? What about, my bills? What about my responsibilities, my lifestyle, and so on and so forth? And so the misperception, it's a great misperception that one should just drop everything and switch. Matter of fact, there's almost 8 billion people on Earth. You pick a number. 8 billion unique worlds and unique paths and unique lives. So every one of us have a unique everything. So unique story. So for some, perhaps this would be they could be ready because they're fed up and they're so distressed and depressed that they don't care anymore, and they're ready to switch. That's fine. Others are not, but more people I talk to, and by now it's probably I wouldn't surprise it with thousands of different people, my ex-colleagues, professionals in this field, as well as others, and I realized majority of the people are struggling, just like I was for 52 years. So that means my health is not balanced. My relationships are not balanced. I might be making some money, but it's not, I don't realize any happiness out of it, or maybe for 5 minutes when I go on vacation, or even on vacation I can't relax. I always used to live in an anxiety and stress over nothing, essentially, because uncertainty and doubt that comes from outside. It's impacting my inner state. My inner state is impacted, everything is impacted, right? That's what I'm talking about. So misperception is that, hey, drop everything, switch. What I would recommend is start being in tune with yourself. Do you know yourself? Can you listen to yourself? Do you know what's your priorities in life? What are your desires? What are your talents? Do you understand the patterns, those occurrences that happening over and over again? For me, it was in the relationships. So every relationship that I had would be a pattern that wouldn't work over time because it was inner impact from a previous experience going from my childhood. When I recognized that, I was able to dissolve and improve my relationships, communication, and so on. Again, misperception is drop everything, switch. Baby steps. It's a journey. Self-knowledge and remembering who I am is a journey, and everyone is unique. So it's a unique journey. What's working for me maybe not working for others. What I am encouraging everyone who is listening to this information and listening to me, start somewhere. Try. Because if you don't, it's just a matter of time, matter of that event. It could be a job loss, it could be a health issue, it could be a loss of loved ones, it could be many things. But if I'm not on the right path, the life will give me sign after sign after sign after sign. And if I'm still, banging my head over the wall and still, going on the path in my illusion, well, at some point it will end up in the toughest lesson that probably ever. And those lessons are actually the best gifts, if you think about it from a philosophical standpoint, because it allows us to grow, evolve, and be all we can be. However, there's an easier path. If I understand that this is sort of a pattern of evolution, I can start earlier. I can start thinking and learning about myself. Start asking questions. Why everything's happening the way it's happening, why I'm not happy, why I'm anxious, why I wake up in the morning and I'm already stressed, why I don't want to wake up, why am I spending gazillion hours on internet or social media or in TV or, Because when I'm doing that, all my attention and focus is there. All my energy is there. I'm missing life, right? The best movie is outside. I walk outside, this is the best movie ever. No Oscar can be compared. Life is amazing. That's what I'm talking about. Profound change in any aspect of my life resonates to all spheres, everything. So for example, if I'm struggling health-wise, I improve my health. Everything else is improving, right? The professional career, the relationships, and so on and so forth. Same thing, if disbalance in the relationships, I'm able to optimize my relationship, my health is improving, my professional career is improving, so on and so forth. First, find where the disbalance is, the major one. Then start asking, what are my priorities in life? And it's simple to start. First, what's life worth to me? What's 1 second of that life worth to me? Priceless. Now, how much time do I have left? I don't know. Think and then live by this. When I wake up in the morning, say thank you, I'm grateful, and I'm enjoying life. And I'm spending my focus and energy based on my priorities. I have obligations as well, and I do them as well. But first, my focus is on my priorities. This is how I'm fulfilled. This is how I get so much energy. I can do 100 to 200 tasks more per day, not a week, not a month, per day in this state. That's a profound change. This is what I'm offering to everyone who wants to get on this path. Okay, so those misperceptions. Start somewhere, start being in tune with yourself. It's better if you have a pen and a paper, because this is the way we function, I function. So thought is first, word is second, action is third, and fourth is acceptance or rejection. Those are 4 steps of creation of anything in this world. So if I'm thinking out of the state of anxiety and stress, think what I'm creating. And opposite. If I'm in resource, I'm happy, right? I'm thinking straight, the thought, then there's a word, written word maybe, and action. plan, action plan, manifestation of my desire. Those are the 4 steps. So the first thing, what I recommend is, okay, if desire is, hey, I want to understand myself better. I want to get on the right path. I need to understand what my priorities are, who I am, what my talents are, why am I stressed, or why am I not functioning, I'm not happy. Start with that. Pen and paper. Write those things down for yourself. There's no exam. Start listening to yourself for answers. Every answer already exists in us. The only difference is I can listen to those answers, be in their state of what I call love or balance. Or if I have an inner dialogue, I can listen to myself. That's the difference. Okay. So, again, other misperceptions. Hey, if I'm 80% happy and 20% not happy, that means I'm just running around and smelling flowers and I'm not doing anything. Misperception. It's an opposite. Think about this. Once you have this creative energy, right? You're in a happy state. You're motivated. You're inspired. You have all this energy you want to create. You can't sit still. I'm funneling this energy to this project, for example. I published a book less than a month on 7 different platforms, including Amazon, as an example. Not only that, voiceover, it's in voice. And it's already been translated to English, and it's already today been published to one of the platforms. By the end of the day, tomorrow it should be on Amazon in English. That's an example. This is an example where I am in my resource, I'm in a state of love, I'm in a state of happiness. My productivity goes through the roof. There's no procrastination. Any sign of procrastination is a lack of interest. And it's okay. It's normal. It's normal. If there's a shame, guilt, then it's just a snowball of misery. I was there, living backwards, 52 years, and I woke up. This is why the third part of our discussion is why it's important to wake up. Look around you. I am. There's so many idiocracies around us that could be avoided. Plain and simple. More people wake up, then, the life she's changing, right? There's no, like for me, I have no desire to hurt a child, to litter in a park. I just don't, because I love everything. I love this life. I cherish every second of my life. I have my priorities straight. Think about that. I have no desire of imposing my truth on anybody else, making conflicts. No, I love everyone because I love myself. That's another thing, an indicator. Can you truly ask this question? Do you love yourself? And have an honest answer for yourself. And if the answer is no, it's okay, but it's a starting point. It's an indicator that if I don't love myself, I can't love anybody else. And probably the world doesn't love me back. So I'm always struggling. I'm not transparent. Probably there's a lack of empathy. There's more guilt, and so on. Think what that person is doing to others in the relationships. That's an existence in a state of fear. Every state of fear in my book is an illusion that is formed based on previous experiences in my life that's no longer serve me a purpose. But every time I wake up nothing happens, I already have a horror movie in my head that is created based upon the previous experiences. So I'm not living now, I'm living in the past, and I'm blocking my future. There's no future, or very minimal. Instead, if I can let go of the past, now I can live now and structure my future. Enjoy now, structure the future. That's profound. That's easy, but it's very, very profound. So why waking up is even more important nowadays, or any era, essentially? Well, again, I'm looking around what's happening in this country, around the world, just observing the collaboration between different people, and all this nonsense, miscommunication, assumptions, state of fear. Control. Fear is a control mechanism. So somebody is controlling someone if that person is in a state of fear, plain and simple. So every time I'm afraid of something, I'm a robot, I'm a zombie. I'm exercising somebody else's will, not my will. Think about that. This is why waking up, being aware of yourself, is profoundly important for the whole civilization on the planet. More people wake up, better planet, better civilization, less idiocracy. That's why waking up is super important. How does it relate to the professional career? It is beautiful. Think about this. If I am more calm and collected, I'm not stressed, I'm transparent, right? I'm doing the right things, my communication is improved, I can talk to anyone. I'm not assuming anymore. I'm not pretending anymore within the concept of the team, a project. It's amazing. I can be honest with myself. And the trigger is this. Am I doing what I'm doing out of love because I love, and I'm 80% of the time is happy and doing 20% of the time that I have to? That's the indicator, 80-20 rule. If it's an opposite, it's a struggle. It's an honest discovery for yourself. And another trigger is, okay, if tomorrow there's no more pay, am I still going to be doing the job? Because out of love. Think of this. A painter who paints this masterpiece, Picasso, for example. That individual produces a masterpiece and nobody buys it. Does that individual stops and not produces the second and third and fourth? No. It's impossible. It's a calling. It's my calling. I'm going to continue until I'm done. That's the indicator. So if you're in a professional career, if you're like, okay, I absolutely love what I'm doing, and 80% of the time I'm happy and 20% I'm stressed, you're in the right place. Typically, that's top 20% performers. So if you have a 100% spectrum, 20% would be the top performers on any team. 70% would be good enough work, mediocrity, and then 10% would be development folks who are pretty much depressed. So you got 10% that depressed. Oh, now we have the alarm. That's okay. So, well, it's live. I'm just going to continue, and hopefully we can take this sound out later. Anyways, I'm going to raise my voice. So think about this. You have 10% development folks who are depressed. You have 70% who are doing just good enough and surviving. They're in a state of chaos. This is, again, I'm sharing my own experiences. Then you have 20% who are top performers. Those are the folks who are typically overworked, workaholics. But they're happy with they wanted to do what they're doing, and they love what they're doing. A lot of times, all these folks, even 20 percenters, they're also lost because there's a cyclical financial cycles, economical cycles, and so on and so forth. Different trends. Its impacts on those top performers from the compensation perspective and rewards and recognition. Also, these folks sometimes they're ready to do their own venture, but they're so happy and they're kind of stuck. They wanted to continue working for the company, and it's okay. Why I'm painting this picture that pretty much 100% of the team may be in stress and distress, and until the individual changes on an individual level is happening and people start being awakened, only then the whole team can be as optimized as possible. Not only that, the individuals can make right moves within the company, right decisions, not wait for mass layoff when they see the signs on the wall. I mean, I was there, but I didn't do anything because I was trying to mask it. Oh, it's not me. It's not going to happen to me, because I was living in an illusion. So if I live in a state of fear, automatically I'm living in an illusional state. If I live in a state of love, it's an opposite. I'm calm, collected. I'm making most optimal decisions at all the time. And I'm transparent with communication with my colleagues. I understand that certain tasks and certain things are easy for me. It's my talents. Others are hard. What was happening to me for 52 years, I was just smiling and was not transparent with my team and my manager. That's a disservice. I was stressed. And I was also, my work was not as optimal as it could be. And you see the ripple effect across the whole team. Opposite, if I'm transparent and I can say, hey, I love doing these tasks, and I can help other colleagues of mine, no problem. It's easy for me. But this ones, I just don't have a desire or don't have skills. I have interest, but I need training. So I can't do them right now. Can somebody help on the team? You see, now the collaboration is at a different level. Communication, the trust, empathy, well-being within the team is all improving. Think from the leaders of those teams how difficult it is for them to manage and lead. They also part of the same spectrum, right? 20, 70, and 10 within the leadership scope. They're under immense pressure. And great leaders, they allow others to blossom, not micromanage. Anyways, so why wake up? Why it's important in the professional career to start assessing, are you in the right place? Are you doing the right thing? Where disbalance in my well-being on the personal level? How can I improve? Start asking questions, basically. And my recommendation, use the pen and paper, right? That's a journey. Start that journey. So what are the options, right? Where to find information and options? My personal path is, and my personal experience, I've been sucking all kinds of information from media, from YouTube, from reading books, and classics. You know who they are, like from a professional and self-improvement perspective. But that was just a nice information. I tried meditation, it did work for me. But certain things worked. Like I tried to be grateful genuinely, and the gratefulness is a magic wand. It worked for me. So at least my inner state start improving. I start being grateful for everything around me, for this life, for this opportunity to breathe, for opportunity to I don't know, eat, drink, interact, just live. So that was a great great element. But like I said, everybody is unique. It's an individual path. A lot of this information, for me personally, became nice to have, and nothing happened. It did not take profound change. Here and there, for example, I looked in the mirror. I didn't like the way I looked. I went to the gym. I lost, let's say, I think 70 pounds or 77 pounds in the span of a year. Some would come back later, right? I went on different diets. Then the diets worked only for 5 minutes. I call it a 5 minutes. 5 minutes dose. If you think about it, like, even in professional career, I was making a good income, and I was supporting my family and living a decent life in Northern California. Can't complain. And on the weekends, I was enjoying certain things and making memories. That was great. But 5 minutes. So Monday comes in, stress. Friday comes in, less stress, but it's an illusion because I'm trying to get into a relaxed state. Saturday comes in, this is where I relax for one day, and then Sunday rolls in, I'm already had a horror movie preparing for Monday. So literally, I was resting for one day out of the whole week. And depending on my physical well-being or a weather outside, or maybe conflicts within the family members, or maybe other external factors, sometimes I did not have even one Saturday. You see? When I went on vacations, it took me days to relax. By the time the vacation is over, maybe I had 2 days of happiness out of 7 or 10. That's what I call a 5-minute dose. For example, some gurus or some teachers, they provide certain practices which works sometimes for some people for 5 minutes. And then that person have to go back to the source for additional dose of happiness, of that energy, what have you. For me, same thing with meditation. That's great. If it works for you, great. Continue. For me, it didn't. So I started thinking, okay, if it doesn't work, what could? And I was able to find answers. So again, traditional methods for me, like meditation, like a dose of energy, or even some sort of structure, or diet, or 21-day quests of some sort. For me personally, if I am struggling, right, if it's hard and I have to use my willpower to make it a habit, it's already a long path. You see? And opposite, if it's easy, right? Oh, there's an interest. It's easy to implement. Let me try. And it worked for me. It worked. For example, the state of meditation is basically an ability for an individual to take the inner dialogue down to zero. In this state, my spirit emerges. And my spirit knows everything. So intuition is also part of that. So now I can listen to myself. Now I can ask questions. Now I can solve different complexities in life. Understand my talents. Uncover, just understand that in front of me opportunities that I didn't see before, and so on and so forth. This is why meditation is great from inner dialogue perspective. Well, I started thinking about it. Okay, for me to take me to the state takes 3 breaths, deep breaths. I actually have this in my practice that I'm sharing with my community. So if I can do this 3 breaths, now I'm in that state. Then I can do something about it, like I said. Now I can learn about myself. I can remember myself. And I can do this anytime. I can get in the state anytime. Matter of fact, I was able to leave 80% of the time in the state. So right now you see my true spirit emerges and Gennady Brin, whoever he is, in front of you. In this state, anybody can do wonders, create new worlds, learn new languages without lessons. I did. Sit in a cold plunge, 4 Celsius Fahrenheit, for 8 minutes without preparation. Set a new world record. I don't know, what have you. Create a new science. My intuition says that Mr. Tesla and Edison, Tesla, and others that we know from our history were able to get in the state and create from that state. Mr. Ford, probably. So many. But the key is every individual, 8 billion people on Earth, can do this and should be able to. The first step is, I want to. An intention. That's 80% of success. A couple of others, where they get information. And I'm going to try. I'm going to try to find my own way. And it will work 100%. If I'm struggling, that's a longer path. Struggle is a longer path. Start thinking what's easy for me. Trying different practices. Oh, this is easy for me. I can do it. Awesome. Mitigation of stress is another technique. There's a range, sometimes infinite number of techniques that individual can try and see what works for them. This is what I'm offering, based upon my experiences. So I'm just sharing my own experiences. I'm just like you. I'm not better or worse. I'm unique. You're unique. I respect every person. I learn from every person. I embrace every person. And I'm just like you. The only difference is I decided to pursue this as a project and take it to the world. So I understood my purpose. And I'm good at it. I mean, I have, for the past year and a half, I've been doing practices, probably 1,000 people by now, that I was sharing my epiphanies, sharing my experiences, psychology of things, how life works. And I open up a new school, my school, Alphabet of Life. This is exactly that, how life works and how individual can wake up and remember who they are. That's what I offer. So the information that you can find about this Alphabet of Life and my practice is on Telegram channel under my name. You can find this information in the post after this particular session. And I'll be gladly welcoming you to the community and sharing what I know. So you can try and see if something changes profoundly in your life, and specifically in the professional career. I want you to be happy. I want you to thrive, because that's the purpose. That's my purpose. I want 2 to 5% of the population in my lifespan to wake up. Why? So this planet, this society will be much better. Less wars, less conflicts, a better love, and better planet, and more happiness. So thank you. So now I'd like to address some of the questions, if there are questions in chats. Let's see. All right. Gennady, how not to fall into emotional negativity? That's a great question. So the negative thinking is, or doubts about myself, or any concerns, you have to understand it comes from a state of fear. And it's okay. First, it's okay, because it's a roller coaster, right? Emotional roller coaster. So first step of, I'm right now emotionally negative. That's the first step. Just be aware. Then I can do something about it. I can say, so what? Today I'm going to be sad. Acceptance is already a huge win and a great impact. It depends on individual. There are a number of ways that you can actually switch that inner state, and I share the practices on how to do that. One way, for example, is use some sort of beads, like any beads, like this particular bead, on my wrist. And as you catch yourself in a state that's not favorable to what you want to be, basically, typically, it is because of the inner dialogue, just too chatty. In order for me to mitigate this, I can start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As long as I want to, I can count the whole day. Doesn't matter what beads, it's just a count. What happens is my inner dialogue is completely out. And I can start focusing on my priority in life. And let's say if there is a emotional state that is a negative emotional state because of some complexity, then you can start thinking about resolution calmly. And the best optimal options will emerge. Or the thought might come in, hey, I need to call someone. Do it. Anyway, this is how to mitigate the negative, or not to fall into emotional negativity. Well, actually, I described how to be aware of emotional negativity. But let's say if you're in a good state, right, 80% of the time, this is what I say, 80%. If you can do it 80% of the time, your life is changed, profound. It's pure happiness almost. There's still going to be 15, 20% where I'm calling it not in my resource. Okay. So if I'm not in my resource, I fall into a negative emotional state, I can come back. Just be aware. Oh, okay, I'm not happy right now. I'm stressed. Okay, come back. Or accept. Or take your mind off. Go for a walk. Have that ice cream. Talk to your child. I don't know. Whatever fulfill you. And then go back. So we're like a batteries, energetic batteries. So I am. So I'm always either sharing my energy, or I'm getting my energy somewhere, right? Exchange of energy. If I can be in tune with myself, then I can learn when I am sharing or spending my energy, when I am fulfilling. Then I can function almost 24/7 in most optimal way. Because if I'm in tune, say I'm spending, like, okay, wait a second, I spend too much energy. I need to go and get it somewhere. So I can go maybe to a nature, right, to a park. Maybe I can eat because I'm hungry, or can have water to get the energy, or have a meaningful conversation, humorous maybe conversation with a friend or a loved one. You'll get the energy from this. You see? This is how it can be in balance. And this is how you can regulate your emotional state as well. And essentially the whole life. Just doing this, you can control your life with this. Because if you can control in anxiety, you can control the heart rate. If you count slow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before bedtime, you can fall asleep faster and sleep like a baby. If you wake up and go fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can wake up without coffee. That's a controlling of your heart rate, just with this simple bits, as an example. And there's so many other tools and ways, practical ways, easy to implement. I encourage everyone to come join me and try. Okay. When will your book be published? My book is published already in Russian language. It's called Path to Myself. And also, today it's been published on one of the platforms in English. It's been translated to English. And should be in Amazon.com shortly, probably today, maybe tomorrow, this week for sure. It's called Path to Myself, where I tell my story. In my project, my goal is to translate this in 27 languages. So the next one is going to be Spanish, then Portuguese, and so on, over time. But reviews been great so far from family members and friends and other acquaintances of mine. So everyone who read the book so far has been great reviews. So I highly encourage you to pick up the book and see for yourself. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so no questions on Facebook. YouTube I just addressed, and TikTok, not TikTok, Instagram. Not quite. Oh, what is the meaning of life? So what is the meaning of life? That's an interesting question. I think each individual should answer that question for themselves. But if you ask me, my take on this, meaning of life, is just be. The gift of life is the most precious gift for all of us. Enjoying life is the meaning of life. Creation in this life, right? I have an opportunity to create something amazing with my energy, with being here, with my talents. That's the second part. And then there's a unique mission and a purpose. If I understand what that is, think about that. Then I can be fulfilled. I'll have no doubts, and I'll just go and execute my mission. Those are the three things in my book. But I encourage you to start thinking about those questions for yourself and find them. All the answers are within, always. Okay. You guys, any more questions? Tube. Oh, another question is, how often do you see happy people around you? That's a good question too. Well, it depends on your personal reality, right? Where you live, your inner state. So this is amazing. So let's say if I go outside and my inner state is negative, then I won't even see in front of me happy people, although they'll be passing by. That's from my personal experience. And an opposite. When I'm a happy state and a lot of people around me are in a different state, they don't see me. I'm invisible. I'm literally invisible. What it means is, see, when I'm in a happy state or just a enjoying life state, calm and collected, just like right now, I see opportunities in front of me. I see those smiles. I interact with people. I see more happy people around me. I also see a lot of idiocracy as well. That's the beauty. But see, if I am preoccupied, I'm in stress, I'm in fear, tunnel vision, I don't see anything. I only see that fear. And then when I get up, take my eyes off, I see misery all around me, typically. So think about this. Your inner state, reflection of your reality, all the time. That's the example. Thank you. What else? What does it say? What is the problem for you? Oh. Zhenya, there's one question. Says, what is the problem? Oh, that's you. What is the problem for you? Never mind. What was the question? What's the problem for you?
Что такое для тебя проблема?
Oh. Okay. So the question is, from my perspective, what is a problem? Like, let's say, definition of a problem in life. That's an interesting question. So there's a complexities in life. Life is interesting. I create my own life. So all the different occurrences, there's no coincidences in my book. This is my perception. So the problems in life is lessons. There's lessons to be learned that I created for myself. But I don't see them as problems, but more as a challenges. As a challenges from a positive perspective. And if I know this, then I say, oh, interesting, what is the challenge? What am I learning from this challenge? What experiences I'm getting from this challenge? Because I'm here, my soul is here for experiences. When I'm going to go from this life, I'm not going to keep possessions and cars and properties, right? Money, but experiences. I'm here for experiences. Thank you. Hopefully I did answer the question. Okay, I don't think there are no more questions. Let's look at Facebook. Okay. So folks, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully it's been interesting information for you. I'm welcoming you to Alphabet of Life. You can find information about it. Please read my book. Be happy to see feedback about the book. Always happy to improve and provide more goodness to the world. Thank you for your time, your attention, your interest, your questions. And I'm just starting to share my experiences, so keep it up. Just watch for all this information that's going to come out and coming out on social media. Come join my community, read my book, and just join my world. This is for the benefit of the whole planet and more profoundly for your journey. This is all about you, not about me. Thank you.